As we get ready to settle in for our devotion time this morning, I really want you to do your very best to get focused whatever time you're listening to this today. It could be morning, it could be in the afternoon, but I really want you to get settled and get really focused on this devotion this morning, because the Lord is really speaking to somebody this morning very specifically, that it's time for you to get serious about your purpose in life, why God has you here, why He made you the way He made you, the personalities, the abilities, all the things that God has given you is for a specific purpose. And perhaps you're spending way too much time doing other things, or caught up in the world, or chasing and pursuing careers and all that. And there's nothing wrong with a great career. There's nothing wrong with financial security and all of those things. That's not what I'm talking about this morning. God is specifically saying, don't let that become your God. Don't let that become your purpose in life, when I have formed you for a different reason. And there are things to accomplish in your life before you leave this earth that no one else was ever born to do but you. And if we don't stay focused on that, we will lose enormous opportunities in our life to make a difference and to make an impact. And when we talk about purpose, I get a lot of questions sometimes about the fact that I kind of stay on this pattern of focus, position, and purpose. And that's for a reason, because God shows us in His Word, and He shows me in my everyday life, that staying focused is a difficult task. It's a difficult task for anybody to stay focused on exactly why they're here, what their purpose is in life. And if we're honest this morning, we've only got so much time to get that done. And we all know that time is fleeting and goes very, very fast. So when we talk about purpose, one of the great characters of the Bible that comes up a lot of times is Jeremiah, particularly in chapter 1, where God tells him, before you were formed in the belly, I knew you, I sanctified you, I ordained you as a prophet to the nations. And we see the value and the purpose even before we're born. But I want to go this morning to Exodus chapter 3. And this is the story of when God is calling Moses to bring the Israelites out of Egypt. And I want you to listen to what Moses says to the Lord in Exodus chapter 3, verse number 11. He says, And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? I want you to pay particularly attention this morning to that phrase, who am I? Because if anything limits us as believers of realizing our purpose in life, it is when we begin to assess our worth to do it. In other words, we feel like we're unequipped, that we're not worthy to pursue such a lofty ambition in the spiritual life, that somebody else is more equipped to do that, somebody else can do that better. You don't think you know the Word of God enough, you don't think you're studied in the pursuit of doing that particular task. And a lot of times we use that as an excuse, and that's all that it is. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. There is a difference. And so we need to get beyond that. When Peter and some of the other apostles was going out to proclaim the word, Jesus specifically told him, take no thought of what you will say, for in the hour in which you stand to speak, I'll give you what you need to say, because it is not you that is speaking, but it is me speaking through you, the Lord said. So don't ever use the fact that you feel unequipped or unworthy to realize your purpose. If God called you to it, He will equip you to do it. And so today I want to speak a blessing over each and every one of you today that is listening to this devotion. God's got a plan for you. And through all the flaws, through all the failures, through all the fears, God still desires to use you. See, God knew Moses. He knew Jeremiah. He knew Paul, and He knew Peter, and He knew all of them. He not only knew their strengths, He also knew their flaws. And even though we have flaws, and even though we have failures in our past, and even though we have fears about going forward to the future, God says none of them trumps faith. Fears, flaws, and failures never trumps faith. So if we have faith in God and not in ourselves, but in God, then He will sustain us and carry us where He needs to have us to realize our purpose. Today I want you to be safe, I want you to be strong, and I want you to be blessed. I want you to be that person that'll get up today and lay down those excuses. Lay down those other false idols and false gods that are occupying so much of your time, and get busy realizing your purpose before it's eternally too late. May God bless you. May God keep you today. And Lord's will, we'll see you back here again tomorrow. And until then, you have a great day.